Hey guys, Chris Dorry here. Today I'm going to complete what will be my first podcast. So this is a bit of an experiment, so I'd be interested to hear some feedback in the comments section below whether you would like more of this or whether you'd prefer me to revert back to my usual video format. But today my topic is whether the 2018 draft is a super draft or not. So I've found that this question has been asked quite a bit but never well answered. So that's what I'll be doing today. So my opinion with the 2018 draft at the time of the draft is that the top end is the best I've ever seen, whether it's the top 5, top 10, top 15 first round, and I still maintain that position. So I think it can be better than any of the great drafts, whether it be the 1999, 2000, 2001 draft, 2006, 2008. They're some of my favorite drafts throughout the years, and some of those incredible strong drafts, and some of those could be seen as super drafts. But it'll be interesting to see long term, I suppose, where the 2018 group fits. But in terms of that top end talent, I believe 2018 will, through at least that first round, be stronger. But then the real question really emerges as to, well, outside of that first round, is the 2018 draft as strong? One point of interest that should prove instructive in the analysis of the 2018 draft is from having a look at and this was a video from almost a month ago now, but in creating a top 100 players from the 2016 to 2020 drafts, so 5 of my top 10 players in that period of drafts are from the 2018 draft. So that tells you right away that the top end quality is absolutely phenomenal. And then 7 of the top 20. So again, that really holds the 2018 draft in good stead. But from there's a bit of an interesting point, and that's this. So out of the 100 players, only 17 of those came from the 2018 draft. So that's a below average number, and it's a lot less than a lot of people would, I guess, suspect is the case. So what that tells me right there is that although you've got a great concentration of top end talent, there's really a lot of unproven players that still need to prove themselves. And I think that's really where we're standing at this stage with the 2018 draft, where we've got the super top end names. So just reading out some of the top end names from the draft. So you've got Walsh, Lukosius, Rankin, King, Rosie, King. So you've got Max and Ben, obviously, Bailey, Smith, Taron Thomas. So you've got phenomenal names up the top end. So, and when you've got those sort of players, well, absolutely you can produce those top end names. But I guess what we also see in going through the draft is outside of that first round, there is a bit of a drop off in quality. So if I'm to go through some of those names that I guess I view as players who can be great, well, I'd be looking at the likes of Lukosius, Max and Ben King, Zach Butters, Bailey Smith, Sam Walsh, Connor Rosie. So they're the players at this time where I feel like it's a pretty safe bet to say they'll be great players. And when we're really looking back at the 2018 draft, these are the guys where we're going to look at them and say, yeah, these are the reasons why this is such a great draft when you've got this caliber of player. So, and then moving down from there. So in what I would class as, I guess you could say, a good category. So Isaac Rankin, you've got Nick Blakey, James Rowbottom, Xavier Dersma, Lockie Scholl, Jai Caldwell, Taron Thomas, Isaac Quaynor. And then, although possibly on the more speculative side, I still like the likes of Jordan Clark, Callum Wilkie, Nick Hind, and Tom Atkins. They're the guys I'm liking the look of. So at this stage, I'd be saying it's that good group that's a bit weaker than you would like at this stage with the 2018 draft, where obviously with those players with the scope to be great that I've already mentioned, phenomenal and really strong top end group, but it's just that good group. I'd like to have more names that I feel really solid on. And over the coming years, we'll get more of those names, but at this stage, I'm still waiting. So for my conclusions, I still maintain the position. This is the best top end I've seen, and this can go down as certainly through the top 5, top 10, top 15 first round. It can be the best ever through each of those parts of the draft. But there is still the hesitation, as per how I was thinking as we were leading into the 2018 draft, where I still feel like more time is needed to see how everyone else develops and whether more can join that good group to be able to call the 2018 draft a super draft. Because ultimately, and this is the key point here, so the key takeaway should be, if you're talking about a super draft, the implication to me of a super draft is that not only does the draft have the elite top end and early draft talent, but also has substantial talent littered throughout the draft. And that means inclusive of late selections, rookie selections. And at this point in time, that component's missing. So I'm really looking forward to seeing hopefully some of those names that I mentioned really, I guess, rise over the coming years and really, I guess, join some of those really at least good players, and if not, maybe a few more join that potential great category, because that's really what's going to, if anything does lift this draft into that super draft sort of, I guess, group. But if I'm to speculate at this stage, my view is no, I don't believe the 2018 draft will be a super draft. It will just be a super top end, and I would leave it at that. Thanks for listening, guys. And if you enjoyed this video, podcast, whatever you want to call it, give it a like. And in the comment section below, let me know. Do you think the 2018 draft is a super draft? And where would you rank it all time? For me personally, it doesn't fit in the top 5, but it has the chance of those drafts that we've seen to be a top 10 drafts. So it'd be interesting to hear some feedback on that as to whether you share the same views as me. But yeah, let me know also if you've enjoyed this podcast format, and if so, I might consider in the future making a few more podcasts. So anyway, guys, see you in the next video.